turns to you, Jem. The queens of this land died many moons ago. I am one such queen, but I cannot be your prize. Can I take your names, travellers?
I am the great Krypton, future dragon.
You can't have my name, but you can call me Surana. I don't trust it 1 second.
What?
This is a fake creature. If it's something,
Kriv introduces himself as the great Krypton as he bows to the queen. I will
Oh dear.
How many pillows, Jem?
I've tried that before.
Right, so you both have, Jem has obviously introduced himself as the Great Kriv Tarvan. Surana has quite diplomatically and is on the defense with this spirit. Do either of you have detect evil, or
Foreshadowing.
No, I do not. If it's poison or disease.
no?
Kriv does have his danger sense. He does have an uncanny ability to sense the danger around him.
So, just to put you at ease, Surana, what would put you at ease if there was anything that this Naga could do to rest your troubled mind? What would it be?
Genuinely, because it's like presenting itself as like kind of a god. Serana's kind of uncomfortable with that because she only has trust in her god. So I don't know. I guess it's establishing something to do with religion or faith there might crow her, but only with Surana.
Okay, so the Naga spirit, known as Sajan the Bazaar, she looks directly to Surana and she whispers almost inaudibly, but enough for you to hear. I am not here to test your faith. Neither am I here to convert or convince you otherwise. Speak true, for I can give you answers. So essentially, she's trying to put you at ease, and she's, as this is whispered almost into your ear, she no longer rises to her full height, but kind of coils down in a much more relaxed position, in a non-threatening manner.
I'm assuming Kriv can't hear this, correct?
Kriv, no, you did not hear the whispers in Surana's ear.
Okay.
You just heard a hissing sound.
Okay, I'm gonna ease off a little bit, maybe take my hand off my pommel. I'm still kind of on guard, but I'm not ready to beat the shit out of this snake.
Please, I pose no threat to neither of you. Come, sit, converse. She invites you both to sit down in the shrine.
I oblige. I sit down.
So you both, you're inside. Are you sitting down as well, Surana?
Seeing your hesitance, Kriv sort of pulls you along. It's rude to not.
I don't care if it's rude, Kriv. I don't trust this. Not one bit.
This could be our new friend. It's bad manners, Surana.
I don't think things in this battle are worthy of friendship, Kriv. They're dastardly out here. They're wild.
If you give them no chances, then they cannot prove themselves.
Can I see any of those little spirit guys around? Can I see if they're doing anything?
Yeah.
Hold on. As you begin to look around the room, have you both sat down first?
I have.
Right, Kriv has sat down, but you have not. Bear with me. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so one of the Chwingas comes kind of bouncing into the room, carrying exotic fruits and a small flask of refreshing spring water. Another Chwinga comes in, carrying the exact amount of food and water. One places a plate down in front of the Naga spirit, and the other places a plate and the water down in front of Kriv. The Chwingas seem perfectly at ease in this place, and they just hang around the walls. The Naga spirit again addresses you, Surana. Please sit. Trust me. Trust the spirits of the forest. We bring you no harm.
Very well. And I'll kind of hesitantly sit down on the edge of the seat.
Okay. As you do so, a third Chwinga comes in, bearing fruit and water, and places them down toward you. You notice, the Chwinga seem to be busying themselves around the room, dusting, taking ash out from the burning incense and dumping it outside. It's as if they're maintaining this shrine for the Guardian Naga. As you sit, Sajan the Bazaar greets you both formally. I am Queen Sajan the Bazaar. This is my temple. From ancient times, a city sprawled through the jungles of Chult. I am now a spirit guarding this place from all evil that may befoul the land. Could I ask why you seek my powers?
Kriv turns to Surana. In all due respect, we are sent to Chult not to seek you out. We stumbled across this temple after coming. What was the dragon's name? After coming up through the cave of a local dragon. Bazani Longtail. We stumbled across the temple.
But we could use some help, as remiss as I am to say. We need help.
You need help seeking truth. What knowledge do you seek?
The cure for the death curse.
The death curse? What is this death curse? She genuinely looks confused, as confused as a snake woman could look.
It's hard to explain, but the dead don't stay dead, and we were commissioned by a person to come and fix this, and it's vanquishing evil. We're united in our cause here. You have interest in this, right?
Yes. Yes. You say that death cannot be vanquished. The dead can only die and stay dead. I know of such evil, although I don't know as to where this evil or whom is controlling such evil. I can share a vision with you, though, if you wish.
Well, it's not the first vision I've been shared about this, so very well.
Kriv, what about yourself? Are you going to partake in this vision?
I shall partake. I have no reason not to trust the Queen.
She lets out kind of a soft hiss, and as she does so, the Chwinga kind of reanimate themselves about the place. One exits the temple, returns a few moments later carrying an abundance of these exotic green leaves, and places them down onto a burning fire in the centre of the room. Before long, smoke starts to fill the shrine. A very thick, grey, purplish colour that seems to emanate from the leaves. As you do so, you can see this guardian spirit is inaudibly chanting, and then you fall into the comfort of sleep. Opening your eyes, you are filled with awe. A huge city sunk into the ground below the jungle line, as if a crater. The city almost carved from the stone upon which it sits. A vast city swarming with snakes. Darkness. Huang Tai guardians here and there. The vision blurs, blackens, but then one strange abomination, a snake human creature, standing, multiple arms, weapons aplenty, bandaged eyes, a visage, a demon. A roar is let out. The image is shattered with flames, and there is the telltale sign of death and darkness. You're then brought back to consciousness. Sajjan Bazaar explains the serpent in which you had seen in the vision is known as Raznazi, and he is a leader. He is a leader amongst the Huang Tai, who have currently set up a lair in the ancient and lost city of Omu. Nobody in Chult knows where Omu is, but Raznazi has set up base here and is plotting something terrible and something evil. Sajjan recalls. Actually, before I go for this recollection, do you two have anything to say or any questions about what you've seen there?
Is the city that we saw this lost city?
Mm-hmm.
I asked the Queen. I'm assuming after telling us the city's basically unknown, Kriv asked if the city we saw in the vision was that city.
Mm-hmm.
And he nods his head.
Was there any sight of that obelisk I saw from the fortune teller back in the city?
Sorry, say that again, Surana.
So was there any sight of that obelisk thing that I got fortune told about back in Port 90 in that vision?
The obelisk that you speak of is at the centre of the city itself. It's a huge obelisk that marks the centre. It's quite a holy place. Sajjan tells you, she is an ancient spirit. Like, she recalls an age when these cities were in flourish, and Omu was like the capital city of this peninsula. A huge city where Choltons lived and worshipped the old gods. But much like the rest of this landscape, it was left to rot and decay. She then starts to recollect and tell you about this Raznazi. Now, he was once a man who actually served and worked with the god Ubto. Ubto had particular patrons, not patrons, particular saints, we could say, that would do his bidding on the earth, on the land. And Raznazi was one such saint. However, he betrayed the god Ubto, turned against him, and ransacked another one of his cities, Merzo, killing hundreds of thousands of Chultans in the process. And what Raznazi had done after doing so, had resurrected the dead of Merzo into an undead army, which has, since to this day, that has plagued the jungles of Chult. That is why the Chultan jungles are full of undead, all thanks to the necromantic work of this of Raznazi. All of this, by the way, occurred when Raznazi was in his human form. He was eventually beaten by other powers of the peninsula, and he was exiled into the jungles, where he, discovered Omu after it had long been forgotten, and discovered a group of Huang Tai, and slowly convinced them that he was their leader, and has since transformed and taken on the shape of the abomination that is the Huang Tai image that you had seen. So he has kind of transcended into this snake-like creature that rules the Huang Tai on this peninsula. Sajan Nabaza absolutely loathes this snake king. He is evil, and she wants him dead, essentially.
Then where do we find him? Where is the abomination?
You will find him at the city of Omu.
And where is the city of Omu?
We have a map.
But is it? Yeah, but is it on the map? It's a lost city.
If she knows where it is, she can point to it, right?
She doesn't know the precise location.
Oh, damn it.
She knows as much as what you do, that it's a sunken city. So
was there any distinguishing features from the vision of the landscape? So the mountains in the background.
Yeah, she can tell you what those mountains are. There's a valley, and there are mountain peaks. So if you want to make a note of this, because we'll come back to this when we look at the map in a second that you've got. Omu lies between the peaks of flame and the valley of lost honor.
Lies between the peak of flame
and the valley of lost honor.
There we go.
And as you guys know as well, as she knows, that the city itself is sunken below the actual treetops and the level of the jungle, which is why she believes it's been so hard to discover. It's not as if the best way that you can see it is from the air. But if you're just you're looking for temple tops and spires and a city that's grown out of the jungle, it's not going to grow above the tree line. It's actually sunken down into the ground itself. So, yeah.
Okay.
She does say to you, whatever it is that Raznazi is getting up to, she doesn't know the full extent of his plans. She just knows that he is evil. And she knows the description of the death curse that you gave her, that there is some form of necromancy taking place in this legendary city, although she can't say for certain whether or not that has anything to do with the death curse.
Okay.
She does actually urge you both. Will you kill Raznazi for me and rid this evil off the land of Chult?
Gladly.
So you're agreeing, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kriv, however, that we will agree to wipe this evil. However, what strength does he possess? Any weaknesses as well?
Ah, good question, Jem. I'm going to come back to that in a second because I've not researched that. But what I want to do, before she answers the question, she then hisses and asks the Chewinga to fetch an item for you both. Let me just find what she's going to give you. See Chapter 7 of the Dungeon Master's Guide. Chapter 7.
She just flips out a book. Let me just find the item.
No, this is
She's
me.
she's got like a catalog.
She's Surana.
Well, the thing is, like, these are. It's not just a random piece of loot. It's not a magical item. She explains
Oh,
that
this is like a key item.
to help you in this quest, she's going to assign you both a natural charm.
Hey!
Assign charms to characters that are appropriate to their roles in the party. Characters who seem reluctant might have Gaius cast on them. Are you still feeling reluctant, Eliza?
No, she's trying to put me at ease with her reassurance to vanquish evil and her faith and the vision, which was very helpful to me.
Right, I'm just going to find.
I feel like Sam would get that.
Kriv has no doubt in his mind about the Queen. His loyalty has been here the whole time.
That'll be your hubris one day, fella.
I'm just finding where the charms are. Can't find anything about them. Quirks? No. Random magic items? Right, hold on. I'm going to go to the index. It's bound to be in there. Give me a specific number. Charms. Charms. 228. Oh, I was close. Right, so we have got charms. A charm is a minor supernatural gift which can be received in a large variety of ways. For example, a wizard who finds an eldritch secret in a dead archmage's spellbook might be infused with the magic of charm. Blah, 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 blah. Some charms can only be used once, and others can be used a specific number of times before vanishing. If a charm lets you cast a spell, you're able to do so without spending a spell slot. Verbal, somatic, material. In any case, a charm can't be used in the area created by an anti-magic field or a similar effect, and a charm's effects are susceptible to dispel magic and the like. But the charm itself can't be removed from a creature by anything short of divine intervention or the wish spell. Example charms are provided below. The text of a charm addresses its user. A typical charm mimics the effects of the potion or a spell. So it's easy to create more charms of your own, if you like. So I suppose I'm going to give you guys some flexibility here. The examples that I've got: Charm of Animal Conjuring. The charm allows you to cast the Conjure Animals spell, 3rd level version as an action. Charm of Dark Vision, Charm of Feather Falling, Charm of Heroism. So basically, if you want to do a bit of research, and choose a charm, the Naga spirit is willing to bestow that charm upon you, but it will be a one-time use gig. Okay?
Okay.
And I am giving you the freedom to go up. I mean, generally speaking, we're talking 3rd, 4th level spells.
So is this basically sort of like a spell scroll kind of thing?
Yeah, so if
So that you can only use that spell once.
Yeah, I mean, it's negotiation, Gem, with me. Like, I'm the DM here. I'm not going to give you a charm that allows you to cast,
Prismatic Spray.
Yeah. Several.
No, I need something
several
that's dragon-like. If I'm on it.
Yes, if you guys want to put in a bit of time, you don't have to decide now as to what that charm is. But essentially, she does bestow a natural charm, on both of you that kind of fits to your character persona. You know, Surana, for example, if you did like a charm of restoration, you know, I
That's what I
might,
was thinking.
yeah, I was perhaps even having like 6 charges to it. Um, maybe 4 charges of greater restoration, 2 charges of lesser restoration. Um, maybe a charm of um, bring. Well, you can't bring anyone back from death because once they die, they die. Um, in this realm currently, yeah. So give it some thought. So she does bestow that charm upon you both. And I suppose that's all she has to say. Unless you have any other questions. You know, she does explain to you that she knows a lot about this jungle.
Kriv does look up. I have a very selfish question, if I may ask.
Ask away.
This devil we will be fighting is strong.
Yes. Right, let me give you some information about Raznazi.
Then Kriv needs to be stronger. Is there any place my internal flame can be beside my weapon at all times?
Raznazi is an incredibly, it's a monstrosity. Magic user. Resistant to magic. Can change shape. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. The word Raz, she explains to you, is a noble title. I said saint earlier, but it's more akin to duke. In his past former life, he was a Cholton paladin, like as I explained, chosen by Ubto, and he was the sworn protector of the city of Mezro. But he betrayed his oaths there, was banished from the city, and this is in his like first life. So he's basically a paladin gone wrong, let's say.
So he's an oathbreaker.
Now.
Yeah. He then became a vengeful warlord, and he attempted to conquer Mezro, which was with that undead army that we spoke about earlier. But he was defeated on his first ransacking of Mezro. Rather than seeking redemption, he sought revenge and was stripped of his God-given powers. Remember, Ubto had selected him as one of his chosen.
So he kept his powers even after he was vanquished?
After he was vanquished from Mezro, he still had his powers.
Original.
Yeah, and he used them, you know, for foul purposes, basically, you know, raising an undead army. But the moment he lost those powers, Gem, is the moment he lost control of that undead army, and that's why the jungles of Chult are just littered with undead, because Mezro had lost his control on them.
Sorry, this guy was a paladin that could raise the dead. We just had someone with a crazy heartbeat. Damn, paladins can be cool.
Does he serve anyone now, or is he just like completely like he has no god?
Well, he withdrew from his assaults on Mezro, and Mezro has since fallen into dilapidation. You know, everyone knows where Mezro is if you know the right treasure seekers, and the city has been ransacked time and time again. There are some that believe that Mezro will rise again and be a glorious city, but you know it is a shadow of its former self. But Nazi withdrew to Omu, which is the city in which you saw in the vision. He'd clung on to his noble title despite the fact he was no longer in the service of Ubtao, or the city of Mesro. He retained his human head and that's when he joined forces with the Huan Tai, and that's where he underwent that horrible ritual to have, his body basically become a snake. He's retained his human head and torso, but he's gained the serpentine lower body. And as you know, and the spirit Naga expresses this sadly, Ubto has now gone from the world, which has meant Raznazi and his new Huantai followers have gained more and more control of the jungles of Chult, and they've grown in power. With every passing year that Ubto has left the Cholton Peninsula to its own fate, Raznazi has grown in power. Almost, what he intends, and the Naga spirit doesn't know this for certain, what he intends perhaps is to become godlike in his own right. She believes that he is trying to find a way to bring Dendar, the night serpent, back to, Dendar was this evil god that Ubto had defeated, the night serpent. She doesn't know if he serves anyone at this moment in time, but from what she has seen in visions, the Huan Tai seem to be more organised, and there does seem to be a higher number of undead that seem to be floating or stationary or almost forming like a pool of an army around the city of Omu. So she suspects that there is a higher power that is perhaps supporting Raznazi in his efforts to bring an end to Chult.
Okay.
So not only are we fighting a devil incarnate, we're possibly fighting God.
She kind of nods her head. He is powerful, which is why I bestow these charms upon you. And then obviously she bestows her charms. Have you guys decided, by the way?
I'm just looking at like charms, just to see like spells or whatever it is.
I couldn't find any charms specifically, but I did find a spell that would be quite useful to have as a charm.
Go on.
I will put it in general. Hold on. Gilbert's messaging me.
Ew.
Aura of Vitality would be quite useful.
Was that Vitality?
Did I put that? Yeah, I did. But I just sent that to Gilbert.
What's Gilbert up to nowadays?
What?
What's Gilbert up to nowadays?
He's playing with Warhammer.
Yeah, he's getting into Warhammer now, and he's also writing a new book.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Nice. Charm of Vitality, did you say?
Yeah.
So it gives you benefit of Potion of Vitality as an action. What does Vitality do? Does it increase hit points, I'm assuming?
So Aura of Vitality means that I have a 30-foot radius, and if a creature is in that radius, I can choose to give it 2d6 hit points.
Okay. Roll a d4 for me, and this will determine as to how many charges of this charm that you get.
Please get 4.
1.
Okay, you get 1 charge, that's it.
Could it be 1d4 plus 4, or like 1d4 plus something?
Doesn't work like that, Harry. We leave it to the roll of the dice.
Yeah.
So, Surana, I'm just going to make a note on your character sheet. Blah, 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 blah. Edit. Bio, should I put it on GM notes? No, just put it on your one. 1 charge of Charm of Vitality. Jem, have you decided on yourself?
Okay, I'm honestly not. I'm trying to think of like because what would Kriv get? But being a barbarian, he wouldn't really get something like magical per se. It would be more like I imagine either his weapon would get better or something. But I'm trying to think of like a charm of
It's
like a
just something like
one-time thing.
inspiring feats or
Yeah,
something.
so I imagine it. I imagine it more as like a self-sacrifice sort of thing, where Kriv just puts everything he has into getting rid of someone.
Uh,
So I imagine sort of a modified version of banishment, where he ties his soul to someone and he casts them both to die.
I'm not sure what you mean, Jem. If I'm honest.
So I'm trying to, like Kriv being a barbarian. He's got like his firebolt thing, but he gets that as a cantrip. I'm trying to think of like as a charm you would give to Kriv in terms of like, oh, you get one use of this. I'm just meant to hit. I'm just meant to hit people and take a hit. What one use thing can I get apart from oh, just killing something?
You could have inspiring things. So say you act or
Mm.
whatever, and everyone in like a similar aura radius thing to Elias's maybe has a advantage because they're inspired or has a bonus on top of their attack.
Yeah, but a one-time advantage.
Right. So I'm looking at some like buffs for barbarians, Jem. There's a list of. I mean, I don't know whether these are appropriate or not, but there's a spell called Blink that is supposedly really good.
Oh,
Um,
travel to the ethereal plane.
there is Armor of Agathis, Fire Shield. I don't think you need Fire Shield because you've got natural defense against fire anyway.
Yeah.
Spiritual Weapon, um, Armor of Agathis seems to come to mind. I'm just going to have a look at that for you. 5th edition. Let's have a look at this. Armor of Agathis. Come on. One action. A protective magical force surrounds you, manifesting as a spectral frost that covers you and your gear. You gain 5 temporary hit points for the duration. If a creature hits you with a melee attack while you have these hit points, the creature takes 5 cold damage. When you cast this
That'd be
spell,
good to have for Kriv because fire.
yeah. When you cast this spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, both the temporary hit points and the cold damage increase by 5 for each slot. So
Did you say we did it at like level 4?
yeah. So if you, let's say, I can negotiate here. It's got 4 charges. You can use 1 charge, which means you gain 5 temporary hit points. Creatures take 5 cold damage, or you can use all 4 charges in one
For
hit, so
20.
you gain 20 temporary hit points, and any creatures that come near you take 20 points of cold damage.
And how long does the spell last for?
1 hour. So that would be.
Oh, so that would literally be like a boss fight per se.
Yeah. I mean, spiritual weapon. Someone's in the forum saying that you don't get charms at this low level, but I disagree with that.
Well,
I think
we ate a snake here, so I'm doing this.
Right, so spiritual weapon. You create a floating spectral weapon within range that lasts for the duration, or until you cast this spell again. When you cast the spell, you can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. On a hit, the target takes force damage equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. As a bonus action, it's just a floating weapon, and that means it'll just be another object attacking a creature of your choosing. And then higher spell slots do more damage. That's not that, I don't think. Mirror image. Aid. Long striders. Long strider. That sounds like a feat more than a spell.
Yeah, Aid is an action, and it gives the person whoever's doing something advantage.
The vertical column of divine fire rolls down from the heavens.
It just gives you your speed increases by 10 feet, long strider. So that's like 2 extra parts of the grid you can run on.
Okay, I might. Ooh.
A mobile fleet is way better.
Yeah, actually.
The what one?
Mobile fleet for roads.
Say that again, Jim?
I haven't been joking about the mobile fleet for roads, which I find is completely unfair.
Mobile feet?
Yeah, the road. Yeah, the mobile fleet. Basically, they should take. It's something about you can basically disengage without taking any attack opportunity, and you can get back into sneak attack range.
Oh, nice.
So you can. So basically, for a road, you can attack. Then the mobile fleet just lets you then disengage on the same action.
Well, you can disengage as a bonus action or as a counter action either way, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but mobile feed basically allows you to basically rinse and repeat it, and you can't do anything unless you basically No, it does a lot for a rogue.
I'll tell you what is a real cheese feat. Is combining a polearm master, and sentinel, because what that is obviously you have the extra. You have attack. An effective range of 10 feet with a melee weapon, obviously, because of the polearm. And with polearm master, you get opportunity attacks within that extra radius. And then sentinel. Alright. And then sentinel, whenever someone comes into your opportunity attack range and you attack them, even if you don't land a hit, their speed is dropped to 0. And they can't move. So what you do is you position yourself 15 feet away from someone. Oh no, you attack someone. And then you step back 5 feet, so they're no longer in your range, and obviously you're not in their range, and they're not in yours because they're obviously a smaller weapon. So they step into that radius, you get opportunity to attack, and they can't attack because they're not in range because you have the polearm, and their speed drops, so their turn ends, and then you step back when it's your turn after you attack, and you just keep rinsing that period, that process. Such cheese.
Yeah, that sounds quite OP.
But it is 2 feet though, so it's like you have to be a certain level to obviously get it and not take the.
Yeah, so in long game, that's yeah. Yes, just in the interest of finishing up here, like you've learned a little bit more about Raznazi, this dark snake lord. The Guardian Naga, again, wishes you well. If there's anything else that she can help you with, ask her now.
Can you bless our friends?
No, you're not here.
No, I'm saying that to you. So that.
Well, yeah, but you're not here.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that, Harry. It's for those that are inside this this I don't know, dimensional portal. They've travelled to a different dimension.
She wouldn't happen to know anything about the dragon and Musharraf's homeland.
Of where? What do you speak of this dragon?
Our guide said that he would help us travel through the jungle and find the cure for this curse if we helped him reclaim his homeland by slaying a dragon.
There are many dragons that reside in the jungles of Chult. You've mentioned one, Shazani Longtail. She was a young dragon, barely of adult age, but there are other more terrifying, dominant, powerful dragons. Although many have been hunted to extinction, some still reside in well-hidden tunnels and crevices. Beware. She doesn't know anything of this dwarf Musharraf, though, and his homeland. There are many dwarven settlements along the mountain ranges. You know, the Misty Cliffs, the Peaks of Flame, the Valley of Honor, which you mentioned and alluded to earlier. You know, do you know where his ancestral home is?
Oh, he told us the name of it.
Do either of you two remember?
Hold on, I need to look at the map. I know where it is on the map, but I can't remember its name off the top of my head.
Okay, so you're pulling the map out to have a look.
Yeah.
Whilst you do that, then I'm going to transport you all to the map screen now. I don't know if this is just going to throw you out or not, so let's have a look.